the Wawa Studios. The final score starts now.
Hello and welcome into a Wednesday night edition of The Final Score. Luke Milai with all of you. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. We start with our game of the night, a boys soccer battle with Kent Island traveling to take on Colonel Richardson. We send things over to DSN's Tim Nolan, who had the call.
Yeah, welcome to Colonel Richardson High School. I'm now joined by one of the stars in the midfield, Simon Vianovich. First, Simon, thank you for joining us. And second, being one of the captains of the midfield, being selected as a captain as a junior, just what does that say about this group and about the coaching staff that, they put a lot of trust in you to really patrol the midfield?
Well, we have a talented group this year, a lot of good players. Thankfully, Coach trusted me with this role. I was captain on the JV team growing up, and I know all these guys. They're my brothers, and I'm happy to wear it. It's an honor.
I mean, you guys got some key players offensively, weren't able to go in this game. Mm-hmm. No Eric up top. You guys don't have your buddy Isaiah Knowles in the midfield. So, a lot of this possession, there was a lot of strain on you. You were drawing really two men marking you for most of this match, still able to make it happen. Talk about the approach coming in here in Fedelsburg.
Our approach was just to play our game. We're a good possession team. We can build it out the back really well. In the first half, we had a little difficulty playing the ball up to the field, but in the second half, Coach Lynn made an adjustment. He brought me further up in the pitch, and he let our two other center mids, Spencer Chappelle and Brendan Thomas. He let them facilitate the offense, and we got the ball to me in some dangerous areas, and we finished.
Yeah, you took advantage, especially in the second half. We're going to show you those highlights right now. In the first, what was Colonel Richardson doing to kind of keep you guys off your game a little bit? I mean, you got a searching ball right up there to Lane, and their goalkeeper, Cohen Carls, is stepping in front. You guys had the pressure, but just not the finish. What were they doing well?
Well, they have good players. They have good players. They were fighting well as a team. They were working well. You can tell they're well coached. But, yeah, that's really it.
You guys have an outside back in Connor Beal who can fly. I mean, he gets up and down the pitch in a heartbeat. What kind of things does that give you? What kind of confidence does that give you when you have a player like that who can get up and down in an instant?
Well, we're confident in him. He's a good player, and he does his job really well.
You guys also have a number of key players on the offensive side of the ball. What kind of stuff do you do aside from the games in practice to work on these touches? I mean, we're watching Brendan Thomas here, just sidestepping defenders, so clinical with the ball. How do you guys put that all together?
Oh, well, Brendan, he does a lot of stuff, out of practice too. He plays on a good club team, but in practice we do a lot of possession and stuff. We work on our touches, and in the off season we work really hard as well.
These highlights we're showing you folks at home, you're not seeing very many offensive chances for Colonel Richardson. Your back line tightens up in an instant. What makes you guys so successful?
Well, my co-captain, Jacob Agee's phenomenal player. He's a rock in the defense. Guys like Davis Miller, Rocco, Noah Scott, these guys have all played for a very long time, and they know what they're doing. And Coach coaches them well.
You could say the same about Lynn Houghton. He has coached some pretty big names around the game of soccer. Beckerman, Onyewu, to name a few. For you guys, how cool is it to learn from somebody who has been around the highest level of the game and knows what he's doing?
It's amazing. I mean, practices are set up well. I feel comfortable with my coach. I feel confident that he's going to make the right decisions. And, yeah.
And one of those changes was moving you and putting you into a more critical role onto the attack. As the set pieces started to build in that second half, you started to do your thing. And then chance finally opens up here. You step past two defenders, and this is just perfect placement. Were you really looking at Brendan on that cross, or was your hope just put in the mixer and see what happens?
To be honest, just put it in the mixer. I knew one of my teammates would have been there. If it wasn't Brendan, it would have been someone else, but it was a great goal.
It's got to be cool seeing it back. I mean, did you think you had that much space to operate? In an instant, you went from having two guys marking you, and then the ball's in the back of the net.
It's weird. It's a weird game.
And then later on in this attack, here's a chance where we thought this could have been your go at goal. Then Carl's able to make the stop. How does he stack? I wouldn't say how does he stack up, but what really impressed you about this goalkeeper for Colonel?
He's a good goalkeeper. I mean, I don't know if we played him a couple times. I think we have, but he's a good goalkeeper. He can save things in the air. But, yeah.
That one got passed by your boy. And once again, another assist for you, Simon. 2 assists on the night. How much for you, how much pride do you take into not just being the scorer, but the facilitator and set other people up to put it in?
I think it's, like Messi. The assists almost matter as much as the goals. And I'll joke with my teammates later that the assists were actually better than the goals, in fact.
So you said Messi, but you got the number 11. So why 11?
I don't know. I don't know.
Just something you got stuck with?
Yeah.
Well, you got 2 assists in the night. You guys are now 5-0 in the Bayside North. We got one last segment, our short standout. We want to give it out. Congratulations, Salman Vujinovic. You are the short standout for tonight's match. 2 assists, and, again, you look ahead at this season, right? Coach Outen, he said, I want these guys to win the Bayside, and I want them to go far in the state tournament. I'm sure you have the same goals, but how do you accomplish them?
Work hard. That's all we need to do. Be disciplined. Stay ready. Stay prepared. We have some good big games coming up, and we need to do our best.
Salman Vujinovic, a man of few touches and few words, but you still get the job done nonetheless. Appreciate your time once again. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, sir.
And we're going to kick it back to studio for more on the Final Score tonight.
Kent Island kept rolling in tonight's game.